welcome back. Top Deck Productions, Tuesday Night Modern.
You wanted Goifs and Bobs? You get Goifs and Bobs.
Oh, jeez.
I heard some people talking about how they wanted Michael Barrett.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it might have been Michael Farrell. I don't remember which one. The names are pretty
one of them.
Yeah, one of them. But we got Michael Barrett and his favorite cereal. We also have Kyle Koeppe and his favorite cereal, Abzan.
Cheerios is a great cereal. Where does Cheerios rank amongst your cereals? Is it in the top 5?
I don't really like cereal.
Okay.
I would say not.
Oh, man, we got a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch at the house. I'm going to have some of that when I get home. Just remembered that. I hope we have milk. All right, so this Cheerios...
We don't have almond milk.
Oh, boy.
All right, so Cheerios, interesting little deck.
Yeah, man, this is what you call a glass cannon.
Is it?
Yeah, I feel like it's a deck that's very powerful. It can like go off and win out of nowhere.
Okay.
But if you have a certain piece of disruption for it, it just falls apart.
Yeah, if you kill their guy, they're pretty much just dead. If you can present any kind of clock.
And Kyle has tons of cards that answer.
So I will say this: when the Cheerios deck first came out after, I forget what got printed that made it blow up again.
SRAM.
Oh yeah, after SRAM got printed, I was playing a black-green based deck that ran the full 4 of Fatal Push, multiple Abrupt Decays, 6 discard spells, the whole 9 yards, and would sometimes still randomly lose to this Cheerios deck.
Oh yeah.
I just drew like the wrong cards at the wrong time. So it's not as bad as it seems, but it's not a good matchup for Cheerios.
Yeah, I think if he identifies what's going on and tries not to go off on turn 2, or you go off lightly on turn 2, like here, he played the creature, and if Kyle has Fatal Push, he's only going to get 1 trigger out of this. All right, so we get 0 triggers.
0 triggers.
The non-SRAM creature is the worst of the two, because SRAM is a cast trigger, and the other one is an enters the battlefield trigger.
Okay. I believe you.
So Kyle there was able to prevent him from drawing any cards, and now Michael's just going to hang out.
Try to stay alive with his 0 action until he draws another dude.
Right.
How many dudes in the deck? 8 dudes.
The thing is Kyle can't go shields down. He can't, like if he untaps and has, like, Lingering Souls here, he can't play it.
He can play his Lily.
What's he going to do? Okay, make some discards. So he discards one of his redundant 0-cost artifacts.
Sure.
Michael top decks SRAM.
Yeah.
And proceeds to win the game.
Potentially. It's not a sure thing.
I mean, he has an opening. You definitely give him a window here.
Sure. But if you don't have the removal spell, it's not like Michael's going to wait for you to tap out.
I think if I were playing this deck, I would totally pump the brakes.
You can't.
Why not?
Because you don't have any kind of clock. You don't have anything to pressure. You don't have anything to interact with his pressure. Like, if he just untaps there and plays like a Goif, you're just dead. All he has to do is represent a single black mana forever, and you'll never cast another spell.
Well, until you have to.
Until you have to.
I mean, at some point, you're going to be back to the wall and have to. And so then, or you wait until you have backup. Like, you go with, you have a SRAM, try, he kills a SRAM, play another one.
So here's the thing. You got to disrupt him once. You saw that he didn't play a backup. Then you just go all in on killing him as quickly as possible. You don't want him to draw into the rest of his answers or the rest of his combo or whatever.
Sure.
fun fact, SRAM in Polish literally means I'm shitting. Taking a dump.
Are we being serious right now?
The chat said it. It can't be wrong.
I'm trying to think of anybody I know that speaks Polish. My family is like super duper Polish.
Yeah. Speaking of super duper Polish, we just got a list here.
Oh, this is my EDH deck I'm working on. I had them doing some polls for me.
So he wants burn at the steak, but he wants the steak medium rare.
I misspelled steak. Apparently, a steak like a wood steak is spelled like the word bake or fake, and I spelled it STEAK, like the steak you eat.
The steak you eat.
I don't just. Oh yeah, this looks great.
All right, moving on to game 2. That one was not much of a game.
Oh yeah.
Didn't really draw me in.
Yeah, this looks great. This is wonderful. Great EDH selection here at GameSwap Mason. When you come up and build your decks, feel free to write long lists for them to pull.
I can give you a list of cards they don't have.
Yeah, it would.
And you can put those on your list as well. They love that, especially if you put it multiple times in multiple places.
Do you do this?
Oh, all the time.
John Douglas is the worst customer ever.
I don't know about that.
So they have a really good selection. It just like every store, it's hard to keep everything in stock at all times.
Yeah. It took me about a month to get a blasted landscape.
Yeah, I feel like that's a bizarre one to not have any of.
Yeah.
I'll bet you where it is. I'll bet you it's in their bulk somewhere.
Probably.
There's just a million unsorted bulk like every Magic store has.
They also don't have any Goryo's Vengeance, so you can forget about that.
Okay, that's a pretty specific rare.
Yeah.
I love how I'm trying to talk up the store, and you're just like, these guys are mediocre at best.
No, it's a great store. I'm just saying, like, I know some cards they don't have, and you should put it on your list.
All right, well...
Just for the trolls, man.
If I know one thing about you, it's the trolls are coming.
They are a-coming.
So Michael's got this Cheerios sideboard. I have no idea what could potentially be in his sideboard.
Leyline of Sanctity.
Okay, that's probably a good one.
That's coming in as a 4 of. Other than that, sometimes they run Apostle's Blessing to protect their guys.
Oh, sure. I wonder if God Pharaoh's gift, or not God Pharaoh's gift, what's the name of it? The one white where you scry one. It's from Theros.
Yeah, I didn't really play during Theros.
I played the hell out of this card because I used to play the heroic deck.
I'm gonna say that Theros is the worst set, the worst block since I don't know, man. Ice Age?
God's willing.
God's willing.
Theros was interesting. The standard environment was very good because the blocks on either side of it were very good.
The standard environment was hot garbage.
No, you're actually wrong.
Hot garbage.
I completely disagree.
Hot garbage. Hot garbage. So I've been playing since beta, and it made me quit Magic. It was so bad.
Oh, you quit Magic for a completely different reason at that time.
There were multiple reasons, but I still wanted to play Magic, and there was no good Magic to be had.
So when Theros was like the mature set in the block,
mature set,
meaning it was the oldest set. I like that verbiage.
All right, well, do what you gotta do, man.
It was not amazing, but like when Theros, like you had this like Sidisi deck against this heroic deck, which is it was very cool. With the whip decks were very neat.
Are you talking about Theros with cons?
Yes.
So Theros with cons was okay at the beginning and then devolved into green-white devotion versus green-white devotion, and it was the worst standard format of all time.
No, it didn't. No, that wasn't. I'm talking about the one where. Do you remember the worlds where? I think it was the second one that Shahar won.
Mm-hmm.
That format was fantastic. It was really good.
Can I just say, Handsome John Douglas 1, Shahar Shenhar 0, lifetime.
You're welcome. I brought that up so that you could.
Just plug my own win-loss record, I guess.
Plug your own prowess as a. Is Michael turn zeroing this?
He's trying.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth card has to be a SRAM, and then 6 and 7 have to be zero-cost artifacts to keep the train a-rolling.
SRAM it is. Oh, one of them's a Pure Cell Paladin. So he's just going to suit this guy up. He has a 2/7 reach on turn 1. Still dies to a Fatal Push.
Interesting. So I guess what he's saying here, he's kind of giving Kyle like the ultimatum. Like, if you let me untap, it's going to be game over. Oh, he drew Retract. That's really good.
Retract is solid.
So, in my opinion, he should have played SRAM here.
Cast it with the Opal.
Because it's the one that says on cast and not on comes into play.
But here's the deal. If he retracts, and then we have the response of Fatal Push or Path to Exile or anything,
right?
He could just pick him up. That's bad news. I guess he can just replay a guy next turn. So we're letting Retract resolve.
Okay.
6 Sigma. What happens with Cheerios? How does it actually win? He plays a lot of artifacts, draws a lot of cards, and then eventually grape shots you.
I think you're going to see it here. I think it's going to happen. Because Kyle passed on this Kite Shield, and if
he had a removal spell, he would have used it.
If he had a removal spell, he would have used it. So he goes and gets the Sacred Foundry.
So now we have the redundancy.
Yep. Okay, so he's going to draw 2 here. So he just has to hit a zero-cost artifact. I guess he still has...
He sells the Opal.
Mox Opal. Is this a Noxious Revival?
Yep.
So or Retract. That's interesting. Oh, did he run out? Oh, did he run out? That's not good.
Did he not draw off of the Opal? I guess it's just equipment. So yeah, he has a mana. So he could Noxious Revival, but I guess you can wait until an turn to do that. So his hand right now is Noxious Revival. I believe he has another creature to set this combo up.
Yeah, those cards only trigger on equipments.
Yeah, it's equipments and auras for SRAM, right?
And vehicles.
Oh, and vehicles.
I don't think he has any vehicles in his deck. Oh, that's very interesting that he missed there. He also didn't attack, which I guess he's gonna try and go again here because he's gonna Noxious Revival the Retract back. He should just play the Noxious Revival with life points to add 1 to the storm count.
we're on Kyle's turn. I don't think he's in any danger of going off here.
Oh no, he couldn't because he was avoiding the collective brutality, forcing him to discard the Noxious Revival. That's the line I missed there. All right, so he's gonna get a bunch more tries here.
Ton of mana. Let's swing in first. Let's be smart. Not smart.
All right.
All right, now he's going to get a lot of chances to draw here.
Yep. Yep, and this is pretty guaranteed.
Yeah, this is
why he didn't attack, because that piece of equipment he just played is a what's the name of the card? Something Veil.
Paradise Mantle.
Paradise Mantle lets him tap a creature to produce mana.
Yeah, he just doesn't need it here. He has so much land.
Yeah, and he has another Retract in his hand. We saw some tech there with
Dusk to Dawn? No, that's not Dusk to Dawn.
I think it is. All right. So he plays Leave.
Yeah. Drawing some more.
Turn any number of permanents to your hand, which is all his artifacts. So it's like a bad Retract.
It's a second Retract. What's the back half of that?
To chance, discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards. So if you get stopped up, you can spend some manas that you may have additionally generated.
Okay.
To discard the excess that you don't need, lands and extra SRAMs and stuff like that. He just has to hit his
Grape Shot.
Grape Shot here.
But you need to keep mana available.
Right. Well, he's not tapping any lands.
You need to cast some Grape Shots eventually.
All right. Kyle was good citizen in there and helping him.
Plays out. He has to get that storm count up to like 24 or 25, just to be sure.
Right.
Just to really grind it in there. Still had all these.
Really put the dirt on the wound.
Yeah, so once this Cheerios deck goes off, it's not a lot of fun to play against, but I mean, there's a lot of interaction in the meantime. The few turns that you get to play are pretty intense. I don't think Kyle will be keeping another hand like that.
Yeah, I think he just has to mulligan down to Path and or Fatal Push.
Yeah, you probably want two.
Yeah, I'd love to, but I mean, if I'm at down to 5 cards,
spell and a removal spell.
Right. If I'm down to 5 cards, it's my only one of them in hand. I'm happy with that.
I might be happy with 1 on 6.
Okay.
Or 6 in a scry.
Yeah, 6 in a scry. Yeah, Leave the Chance is an interesting addition.
Yeah, that's a spicy meatball there.
I can see Dust to Dawn being very good too. Because you get to expensive. I mean, if it goes long, but you get to bring back all the guys.
Bring back all the guys.
Yeah, Leave the Chance is a nice one though. I like the innovation. I can always get behind some innovation, jamming a new card in there, seeing how it works.
Oh yeah. Seems like it worked pretty well for him there, although I don't think he really needed it.
Yeah, it was gratuitous.
A bit, but it is the 5th and 6th, I'm assuming, retract.
Yep.
If you want that. All right, let's see if Kyle can keep a better hand this time. I wonder how he sideboarded this. We saw Collective Brutality. That card doesn't really do a whole lot here.
I think it does quite a bit, to be fair.
All right, to be fair.
It has the duress style effect, where you're gonna be able to get a retract maybe that they haven't burned yet.
So it's not a duress, it's an instant or sorcery.
Okay.
And if they don't have the retract, which they're not like waiting on a retract to go off, they're just building artifacts, then you just whiff on that. And that's literally, I mean, that and whatever the new spell was. Leave to chance. The only targets.
Also, it can kill like if he turn 2s one of his creatures just to be like, okay, if I untap, I get to win.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a real play, and so it opens up lines where he can kill that creature. And I don't think that gaining 2 life is insignificant, because you can force him to play 2 additional spells. And on a deck that can miss, we didn't see him miss there. I don't think his chances with 2 creatures in play of missing are like that high.
Right.
But if on 1 creature, it can be very tight.
Yeah, you can definitely miss.
So like getting to 22 or 21 can be a difference between, versus being at 19.
Life and death. I just don't think it's worth tapping out on turn 2 or any turn 4.
Sure.
And I'm interested in interacting at instant speed. If I don't have the cards to do that, then sure, it's okay.
I wonder if Kyle has any engineered explosives anywhere in the deck.
The old EE. EE is a little bit tough, because they can always just sandbag a couple artifacts. Like, they don't really care if their artifacts are alive or dead. Let's see this hand. We have a SRAM, a Serum Visions,
a Retract,
6 Sigma. Give you a reason to not play Cheerios. It's not very good. If you like this kind of deck, then go for it.
It's very fragile.
It's pretty sweet. Taking the SRAM, we have Serum Visions to set up, a couple artifacts, a Retract. Draws the Grape Shot.
Grape Shot, not the best draw step there.
Pretty bad. I don't know how many Grape Shots he plays. I can't imagine it's a lot.
I'm going to guess 2.
Yeah, Unglued Swamp is nice. That's A+.
Yeah, Kyle plays the classy versions of all the cards.
The classy versions. So are you more excited for Iconic Masters or the 3rd unset coming out this winter? Which limited winter release has got your blood pumping a little bit more?
I know, right?
Yeah.
I will probably play more Iconic Masters.
Yeah. I feel like the time for childish things is past in my life. And so I don't
what
think
is that from? Is that Marcus Aurelius?
I don't think I'm going to be... It's from the Bible. I don't think I'm going to be very high on the 3rd unset, but the lands look nice.
No, they don't. I think they're awful.
I think they're great.
Okay, you're wrong.
Well, I'm right. You're wrong.
Fantastic.
Idiot. So I don't think they're as good as the unhinged ones, which we see
like
there from
Michael has, yeah.
The unglued ones, I like the border more, but the actual land art itself I like significantly less.
Then unhinged?
Yeah.
Oh, I much preferred the unglued. Like, I love the unglued island. I think it's super cool.
It's just like a big rock.
Yeah, but it's got like the windy path going up to the tip of it. And just imagine myself standing on top of it and summoning the blue mana from the land.
Huh. Okay.
But that's my experience. I've just been really into Commander lately, thanks to you.
Yeah.
And the Iconic Masters has way more cards for that.
As in any cards for that.
Right. Like you're just opening more.
I think the 3rd unset's gonna be. It'll be fun to draft like once.
I wish they would make the packs like $2.
Yeah.
I hope there's like I didn't like the dexterity cards from the last one.
They produced some memorable moments, to say the least.
Sure. All right, Kyle's untapped with 3 basics in play. He's firing off this Grim Flare.
Interesting that he chose the 3 basics. I guess he's really trying to preserve this life total to not give Michael any advantages.
Right. He's considering Liliana and another card there.
I believe it was a Collective Brutality.
Okay.
Firing off another Thoughtseize.
All right, so Retract has to be the correct choice here, right?
Well, he's got a Leave as well. It might just be the Grape Shot. I don't know how many Grape Shots he plays.
Yeah, is that another way to make him miss by getting him down to 1 Grape Shot in the deck when not being able to draw it? There's a point at which the Cheerios deck starts generating mana as it goes off, like additional mana.
Right. We drew the Pure Steel Paladin.
So at that point, I don't know that you can... Alright, here we go. Alright. So we've got a Paradise Mantle, we've got a Storm Count of 2. We've got a Grape Shot in hand.
Draws a SRAM.
Does draw a SRAM. So I think Michael's best draws here. Oh, wow, that's really good. So he draws a Simian Spirit Guide. So that makes 2 of those now.
But he can't do anything here. The Simian Spirit Guide, pretty good accelerating on a combo, but in this position, he would much rather than be 1 mana artifacts or 0 mana artifacts.
Alright, so Liliana, sack a creature. He's got Saram and he gets to keep... He doesn't get to keep going. He would have kept going there if he had another artifact. Because then he could have instant speed equipped for free.
So SRAM costs 1 and a white, right?
Correct.
So he can pitch a Spirit Guide if he doesn't get a land.
Mm-hmm.
And then play out the SRAM. How much does Leave cost? 1 white?
1 and a white.
1 and a white?
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, he
Total
has access
cost 2.
to Leave with the SRAM now.
Sure. And that'll take him to some depths.
Leaving a Path on top and
Surgical Extraction.
That could be strong. Definitely leave Path on top, and then you just hope he doesn't go off here. He has the mana to try.
Right, but he can't go very deep with
he drew a Retract.
Man, that's very good. Yeah. Okay, so this is a situation in which the Cheerios deck is very good. I mean, Kyle couldn't play around all these possibilities of him drawing a Retract.
Right.
Of Alright, so he's gonna leave first, it looks like. Okay, so he's choosing to return a land to his hand. So that'll help him generate mana.
Well, he'll be able to cast the Retract now.
Correct. So we see 4 cards deep right now. So he can fizzle out here. So that land doesn't help him at all.
So he's floating in blue. Well, he's not floating in blue. He used it for the Retract. We get to draw so many cards here, but it's very easy to fizzle with just 1 guy.
Correct. Yeah, he might miss here. He needs either Retract or more artifacts. And he's hit too many lands.
Well, this is Storm Count 11, so he can get him down to 1 here. 1 short.
Yep.
So we can equip.
So you can put him to 1.
What's chance cost?
4.
So we're a mana short of chance as well.
So it looks like he's going to try and kill Grimflare and then try and kill Liliana. And put Kyle to 4. So now, if I don't know how Kyle stacked it, but he has the path on top, I think, and then surgical underneath it.
Yeah.
And if Kyle surgicals that grape shot, it could just be the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, he still has to worry about beats from creatures. And at 4 life, that's a very real thing, even though all the guys are bears.
Right.
Alright, so we've got a Path SRAM.
Alright. And one of the nice parts about playing black is that Kyle won't have to pay any life for this surgical.
Yeah.
Man, this game is tight.
Alright. Passes the turn. Kyle draws the surgical extraction.
So he now either has to choose to path or to surgical chance or grape shot.
I mean, it's just grape shot, right? What does chance give you?
Well, it prevents him from having like a 4-card rebuy here.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Right, but if you can't go off, then who cares?
If he gets to draw 5 cards, he's going to get to go off.
A wear and tear is the draw.
Wear tear. I love how the naming convention, so it's wear and tear, so you confuse it.
What?
So you can cast both halves of wear and tear.
Right.
And then left 2 chance. Like the connecting word is different depending on what the function of the card is. I like that.
You like that, do you?
It's a nice one.
So big enough to 2-shot Michael Barrett. Nobody really had any doubt about that.
Yep.
Draws the SRAM.
Yep, here's the SRAM. Let's see what else is going to happen here. You've got to choose a time to surgical extract something here.
Yeah, you just take the grape shot.
I know. I'm wondering when Kyle's gonna decide that this is the best time. Okay, so he let him draw the card and then surgicals the grape shots.
Just 1 grape shot.
Oh man, he left 1 in, which I don't quite get. I don't know how is he gonna win the game now? Is he just gonna make this SRAM as big as possible?
Well, I think the plan was to get into a Noxious Revival to get the
Grape shot back.
grape shot back.
Sure. Yes, Kyle's still keeping Storm, even though I don't think we have any other Storm cards in his deck.
Here's a Pure Steel Paladin.
Yeah, this is another way he can win. He can go wide.
Grape Shot is a sorcery, so he could not respond to the extraction. Yeah, he does have Monstarian Mentor in his deck, so creature beats are very much alive.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
All right. He's...
Alright, so we just have two really big butts now.
Yep.
So we're not going to get through the Goyf.
Just the Kardashian family reunion here.
We're going to go around the Goyf.
Is this a Lingering Souls?
Yeah. Gives him a little bit of time.
So this is going to be great. So he'll be able to like have a soul up. It gives Kyle a lot of time.
It makes it so. Do these guys have vigilance yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Bonesaw is
draw
ready.
2 cards.
Serum Visions and a land, it looks like. Alright, so I think he saw the Monastery Mentor on the scry.
Yep.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, so I'm wondering why he's just not chancing. His hands is like just a bunch of lands. And you're going to be able to get Monastery Mentor off the draw step. And if you get any other... Get another Mox Opal too. You can, like, you know what I mean? You get to play it.
Oh, I know what you mean.
I would have aggressively cast that card by now. The window is closing.
So I think he's got plenty of time right now. Kyle's very reliant on the top of his deck. And you're at 8, which doesn't seem like a lot, but this Goyf is never going to get through.
Right.
The spirits could, but you can easily turn off the spirits by just attacking with your guys.
Mm-hmm. I just want engineered explosives here. So bad.
So here we go. We're now going to chance it. Drawing 5, gets the Monastery Mentor.
And...
He doesn't have the mana to cast the Monastery Mentor.
Oh, he will.
Oh, he will.
He's got 2 right now, and I think there's a Mox Opal in his hand.
Yeah.
So he just gets to replace his Mox Opal, cast Monastery Mentor, and then cast any number of 0-cost artifacts behind that.
Yeah, it generates a lot of mana here.
And generates a monk for each one. He's very careful. Michael's very careful.
So we can now turn every artifact into a mana as well.
Yep.
So we get a monk, we get to attach it for free, attach rather the Paradise Mantle for free.
Sure. All right. Yep, he's gonna keep going.
So I don't know if Kyle has a board wipe. No haste. Right, so he can't generate the mana this turn. I guess he won't need to. So Kyle's gonna have a draw step, but I don't.
But after that, I don't think he can.
Yeah,
he
I
can
can't
take it down.
imagine him having the discard or the board wipe in his deck after sideboard.
I think his out would be. What's it called? Maelstrom Pulse?
I mean, you definitely Maelstrom Pulse. It's a removal spell. They can also hit artifacts. Trigger, trigger, trigger.
Alright, so now he's got this retract in his hand.
Retract and a Serum Visions in hand. We need a board wipe at this point is what we need.
Yep, we need, let's see, Merciless Eviction?
Merciless Eviction. Just a Damnation would be fine.
Correct. I was just going deep on naming something bizarre.
Oh, okay.
Is that card legal in Modern?
Merciless Eviction, yeah.
Okay.
It was in Return to Ravnica. Or Gate Crash. Gate Crash.
Okay.
How about a Black Sun Zenith?
What?
Black Sun Zenith. He's just moving his equipment around for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, this is unnecessary. He's just spreading it out.
Alright, untap. Upkeep. Does he draw the board wipe?
Now you can flashback Lingering Souls, which I don't know if that...
So
7, so that would put him 5 creatures wide.
It's not enough.
It's 6 creatures wide.
Not enough. It is actually enough to survive a turn.
No, because he has Retract. So
Yeah.
one of the smallest guy is going to have 2 power, I guess? Okay, so that matters. Everybody dies to the
giant monks.
The infinite prowess triggers. And all the monks following.
Alright. So if you're Michael here, don't want to put too much thought into this. Just start firing off some spells.
Yeah, so you just...
He gets draws off of the shield. Or not. Whatever. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, you're allowed to miss the trigger. And Kyle's just waiting this one out. I mean, I suppose Michael could make a mistake.
Well, he's not dead this turn.
What series of events yields Kyle's victory? Damnation?
Yeah, he needs to draw a board wipe.
I guess Damnation's in there.
He's tapping his guys for mana.
Man, I wonder if... So if he draws Damnation, I guess Kyle could deck him through this.
He's only at 8. If he draws Damnation, he doesn't have any gas left. Alright, so he picks up all of his artifacts. He's going to replay them, draw a bunch of cards, do a bunch of nothing. Choosing only to draw one now.
Alright. Yes, so we're down to drawing one.
Don't want to deck ourselves.
He's getting his money's worth here, man. He is whoop.
Whoop.
He's getting his money's worth out of this round. He's using all the time.
Yeah, he's using he's like a Native American using every piece of the buffalo. He's using every minute of this clock.
Well, a little racist.
There's nothing racist about it.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
You don't know that they could have left all kinds of buffalo unused.
Well, they didn't.
You don't know that.
I do.
That's a stereotype.
A million prowess triggers. If I'm Kyle, I'm like, you have infinite prowess triggers. Let's go.
All right.
Just
why are we spreading these out? I'm so confused. Can we not? I don't understand what his point is here.
He just is really happy to be
to be going off, going deep.
Yeah, he's like, I want to take as many turns going off as I can.
Michael Barrett, you're the Quipper in chief. It's getting. Alright, so because we have missed prowess triggers, the Monastery Mentor is going to die because the Goyfs were able to deal it 5 each.
It doesn't matter.
Concur.
Nothing matters.
You're right. Nothing matters. It's all a joke.
Goyfs are able to deal it 6 each. Yeah, you don't miss prowess, but we all just want this to end, so. And he doesn't have any idea of how many cards he actually cast. Scooping him up.
It was not a damnation on top of the library. And the last couple turns of that game were just gratuitous. Wow, look at that fade out we got.
Gratuitous, yeah. The nice little
windmill
wipe.
Windmill wipe, is that what that's called?
That's what I'm calling it.
I haven't made a PowerPoint since high school, so.
Yeah, Ipo, he asked him if they could agree upon a number or how big these creatures were, and Michael Barrett said 7/7 on the monks, and that's how it went.
All right, we have a short period of turnaround time here, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with another piece of hot modern action.
Go literally nowhere. We'll be right back.
Way.
Yes, way. Also the most adorable Magic card to be printed in years.
It is a